I needed was NyQuil. 4 tablespoons every night. I promised myself 4 tablespoons. I made myself say it out loud. Only when it's bedtime. The attacks always began the same way. Everything dark and shrinking. Gnomes laughing at me through the filthy periscope of my peripheral vision. Sometimes my whole body would tingle. Sometimes just my chest. But the tightness never let go. Like the whole of me had been wrapped in bandages. So you teach yourself how to make the world think you're almost the same as them. If I started crying from nervous crying, I would pat my face with my shirt sleeve and ask, was your taco salad as spicy as mine? You get really good at that sort of acting. When you know that you try to cover up the fact that you know that your lungs are going to burst out and you'll just die. Obsessive-compulsive disorder is a serious mental health condition. Yet the term OCD is all too often used in casual conversation. The problem with saying someone is OCD because they're a bit tidy is that it trivializes the term. This can contribute to social stigmas around the illness, and as those who suffer can be misunderstood. Comic Tracy Faust's memoir, Nowhere Near Normal, she reveals the side of an OCD person. She reveals the multi-layer of OCD, and reveals the truth of OCD. Nowhere Near Normal by Tracy Faust. In drama class, I used to fear the stage for any excuse to be nervous. But it felt as if I was betraying the one thing that didn't make me spaz out. I had never been anxious performing in front of crowds. In fact, all those eyes on me at once just seemed to blur together into one collective eye that wasn't even real. Lots of attention and invisibility at the same time. And that kind of easy love, I was normal. But then I broke my only before bed NyQuil rule. For my role as Minnie Fay, I played the busty, ditzy sidekick to the confident, business-minded Miss Molly. The shine of busty wore off quickly after I experienced the horrors of corsets and bustles and balloons filled with hair gel and a push-up bra. I also had to squeeze my size 8 feet into size 7 turn-of-the-century lace-up boots. The confinement was nauseating. I couldn't have been more panicky if I had wrapped myself up in electrical tape. In the days before opening night, appropriately named Hell Week, we practiced non-stop from 2 to 10 p.m. The theater became a sacred place, a perfect religion, with just the right amount of scary and beautiful. Every footstep in the wings, every movement of props on the stage's hardwood floors echoed like a lonely phantom, only I could love and understand. In the warm antique spice of Goodwill furniture and velvet curtains, I was who I was supposed to be. But I was worried about being sick on stage. If you shake too much, you're going to have a heart attack. I worried about feeling good on stage. The reason you don't feel sick right now is because you have a blood clot that is preventing your circulatory system from working correctly. I tried to think of that one pamphlet my counselor gave me that said teenagers spend 83% of their time worrying about what other people think of them. When I first read that, I thought, how stupid to spend so much of your life obsessed with other people's opinions. And now, I was the sweaty girl waiting for the NyQuil to kick in. I thought it would help if I strategically placed some paper bags and NyQuil around the dressing room in case I needed them. Come opening night, I'd be ready with the supplies if I really needed them. I really needed them. After squeezing into my dreaded costume, I bent down to pull my stocking feet into my lace-up sentry shoes. Suddenly, I felt a stabbing pain in my side. The NyQuil I'd sipped on earlier had just begun to take effect as a swirling sensation in my torso. I thought my appendix was trying to dislodge itself from my insides. I shot up out of my chair. I couldn't catch my breath. Fuck it! I'm sick with something. I've got an appendicitis. That's it. I knew it. My fist clenched and that familiar lava hurried into my forearms and ripped into my fingertips. A searing headache and stiff neck would soon follow. So not an appendicitis then, but certainly the onset of meningitis. I stood and began pacing. Congratulations! You've also just fucked it up for everyone else who's been working so hard to make this so perfect. My boyfriend had a friend deliver a bouquet of autumn flowers to my dressing room with a card that read, "I'm here." And now I couldn't even look at that yellow and orange without hating myself. I was going to let him down too. Outside the door, someone laughed. See that? They know. I covered my face with my hands and my stomach tightened. One of the stage guys popped his head in the door and asked me if I could make sure the curling irons and hot curlers were off in the changing room before I left. And I said I would, wishing him the hell away from the door, the stage, the world. For some reason, I also wanted to see his parents dead. I tried to remember where the hell I put those paper bags. Did I have one in my purse? Where was my purse? I knew I had one here last week. Why didn't I have 3? I should have brought 4. 4 would have been, 3 was okay, but 4 would have been much smoother. Check the curling irons. I breathed and managed that. But you can't be around dangerous electrical appliances and water and fire and on a sidewalk curb while you're in the middle of a panic attack, because what if you're standing next to one of those things and the exact moment you pass out and say fall into a curling iron and singe the skin right off your forehead? There was one curling iron left on. I picked it up and I wrapped my hand around the hot metal. I pushed my palm into it until I felt nothing. Then something. Then I let it go and it fell to the floor and I stepped on it with both the palms or with both the soles of my feet. Here is your diversion. This is your exit. Now, if you fell in a panicky seizure or started crying because you couldn't breathe, I had invented a way out. Someone left a curling iron on as I limped toward the wings. Heads turned. Mouths opened. The assistant director said he wanted to have a look. I was like, I'm okay, don't worry. I was already feeling the heat of anxiety lowering itself into a shady corner you turn to when you're almost home from a bad day at school. Really, it was just an accident. According to everyone else, I was going on stage despite the pain in my feet and my hand. I wasn't the incapable girl floating around in a medicine bottle. I wasn't the nervous spaz who would now worry for 2 weeks about a deadly infection crawling into my burn wounds. I was doing simply what any good actor would do. Like what they say, the show must go on.